what I'm doing, and I'm using the leaf to fold it back, put it on top of the corn, and break it off. Using the plant against itself to protect myself while I harvest. I think that should be enough. Now off to the faucet and get some water on them, rinse them off, and then onto the fire. What you saw me doing, don't try unless you have gotten your comfort level up. So I got fever grass, sour sap, and guava leaves in there. Gonna make with some clove. Gonna make some tea right there, bush tea. I had it going when I went to go harvest the chaya, but I didn't really stack it up good enough to where once I get back the tea would be finished. So now I'm trying to get some flames on it. So I just add a couple pieces of wood to stoke the fire. Add some color to your life. Getting up to temp now. The land will provide. My family saw this and took it out. This is cassava. Found some there. Ooh, that one, those all rotted out. But how you know is when it's ready, the ground swells up, gets fat, become pregnant. Hydrate. Let's check on the tea and see where we're at, so that we can get the chaya on there. Starting to approach a roaring boil. I got enough flames going, so any minute now I'll get it up to that solid, good firm boil where the heat, the water, the temperature of the water will extract all the healing qualities and stuff from the leaves and add it to mix it into the water. It's doing its thing. My chef assistant's right there hanging out with me. Making sure everything goes smoothly. 360 degrees of security. Efficiency at its best. Slow and steady. It's taking a while. Surprisingly and shockingly, these ones burn better than the big ones. They generate and give off better heat and cook it at a much faster and rapid pace. Today we're playing tag with the sun and the rain. I got it up to its roaring boil. Finally. That's after a quick messing around and just add a bunch of twigs. Alright, so this comparison is for the viewers in Canada that asked about the comparison. So Chaya is like the plant chard, and the North American plant, which is chard. Squirrel just came by, run across the street. Or collard greens. So I just set it on the fire. We're about to steam it for 10 to 20 minutes. Then I'm gonna take it out, and then I'm gonna saute it like chard. I should have never had those big stumps. I put that right there. The water is already up to temp. Once you get to a better place, we're gonna throw this on there, heat it up, clean it, and dump it in there. See how the water is turning green? That's, you know, you're getting all that toxin, all the unwanted stuff out. So from here, this process is equivalent to doing the collard greens. You should chop them up and cut them up, but I didn't waste my time with that. But if you want to cut it up pre-cooking it, you got to use gloves and scissors. So this is what I'm gonna do. Heat that up, get it up to temp, dump some water, wash and clean it. I haven't used it in a couple days. Put it back on, dry it out, add my oil, and then add my greens to it, my chaya to it. So that's what it looks like after you dump the hot water off. But like I said, I want to just get this up to temperature, kill off any bacteria, germs, wash it off with some water, put it back on, and then heat it up and add some oil. Depending on the different types of wood that you put in there, it definitely enhances the food flavor. Once you come vacation and explore Belize, try open pit cooking. I recommend it. Make an effort to come try and explore and experience and rediscover yourself, and try out some of our traditional food. Tap into Belize culinary experience and open your appetite and your eyes to a whole other way of consuming food. How I know it's gonna be up with the right temperature, you'll see the pot start smoking, like what's happening right now. I think I got it to the temperature I would like. I'll take it off. That was so hot that the water started drying off immediately in certain areas. Now the water is gone. Give it a second. Get it up to a little bit hotter temperature, and then I'm gonna add some oil. Drop a little lard in there. Scared. A little scared because it's windy. Whew. Get her oil up. She's not quite level, but that will have to do. Alright, this one's gonna be interesting. Woo! Just into my arm here. Trying not to burn it. That's another trick. And this is my first time cooking it outside on an open flame. So I think I got too much fire. So let's see if the coal will be good enough to just cook it up. You can hear the crackling of it. So open fire do generate a lot of heat, but you can regulate and control it just like anything else. You just gotta stay on top of it. So I just washed it out, putting it back on here, heating it up, and I'm gonna add some more oil to it. Well, just a smidge. There you have it. I just gotta let it drop down to mouth and stomach temperature, and then I'll proceed with describing it as best as I can for y'all. So there's little tips and secret things that people do. Someone told me they leave the oil in there, quite a bit of oil after they finish frying or cooking. Um, it's hot. Another tip that you can use pre-curing it when you get your first time you get your pot. They say you can take the green banana peel, add some water and boil it in there to help to sterilize and prep it and prepare it for whatever oil treatment you're going to use on it after. Just a couple little tips there. Alright, let's go on an adventure together here. This is a famous Chaya. Alright, here we go again. There you have it, Belize's famous greens. So it has its crunch, just like the chard when you saute it and fry it up in a saucepan, and it has the same consistency and chewiness just like the chard and the colored greens. To me it tastes I don't know why they compare it to spinach. It's not even close. It's not even a competition as far as I'm concerned. Yeah. And this, it has no salt in it. It tastes amazing. No seasoning. All I did was add the oil and steam it. Yeah. So yeah, it's hitting on all cylinders. It is a superfood. It dropped down to temperature pretty fast as well too. It's not as hot anymore. And I prefer my food to where you can do it up against your skin and you don't feel a burn. That's when I know it's good to be consumed. I do inherit that from my dad. Yeah. Pretty nice. Very tender. There's some chew to it, but if I was paying attention and I had extracted the wood from the fire and just used the heat and the charcoal, I would have gotten a little bit better softness to it. It wouldn't be as chewy. Because there are some of them that are chewy and some aren't. Like this right here. A little chewy. But it tastes great. Another way to compare it to is like cabbage, very sauteed cabbage. That's another thing that you can compare it to. For those that are on the international and you don't have access to this, then yeah. So you can make this with onions, bell pepper, carrot, celery, all in one. can do your potato wedges or mashed potatoes, steak, pork chops, chicken, and good to go. Or some steamed rice, a little gravy, and you'll be all hitting, every single cylinders will be hitting it on every note. You can also maybe mince it up and cut it up, and then you can add it to your salad as well. If that's not going to float your boat, then you can mince it up and add it to a soup. Or you can just take your time, leave them whole. You can roll it and turn it into a wrap and stuff it with, meat and stuff. Make a little wrap. Make a little Texas Twinkie.